You going to class?
Yeah, I'm sorry, what?
Are you going to class? Oh, you going home?
Yeah.
Oh, bye.
Wait, no, right?
Yeah.
You have some plans?
Mainly staying home.
You're gonna say no.
And then eat maybe a feast, maybe? Yeah.
I love it.
Bye.
You don't tell him, you don't find it bad, right? Ate, ano mo, what's it? You're at the top. Oh, no. And people do that. This is not easy. And we'll, yeah, we're gonna get out. Okay. Yeah. Um, You're here.
Yeah. I just like here.
I mean, it's the first time I go, so. You know, yeah, I think my night was my friends. With it. Yeah.
It was good.
We'll have a short class. Yeah. So we can work on that. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. The get out here early. Today at 5:30. Maybe it's how's everyone doing? What's going on? Week 10. Home stretch. So close. That was too fast. I feel like really know what's happening. Yes. How year to then. But here we are. Here we are. Oh, what? Managing okay. Getting sick. My son was just sick. Well, my husband was sick. That is. And then my son got sick. Thankfully, they had Monday off. Yeah. It's the season, cold time, take your elderberry and drink lots of fluid. That's the key. Get that humidifier ready and in your bedroom. Even without being sick? Oh my gosh, once the temperature drops and the humidity drops, I put a humidifier in because there's nothing better than your dry throat. Keeping things moist. Yeah, those are I'm not a medical doctor. Yeah. I'm what my husband refers to as a big ass doctor. But there's my little. Yes. Big elder. I give my kid elder. Every day, the liquid or I just give them like the gummy vitamin. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think. Yeah. I have the little, I have the actual elderberry, but no water. Oh yeah. Or tea or anything, yeah. It's good for your job. You know, hydrating as a teacher and like eat and you'll get breaks. So how to like but get enough water. These are the things. Yeah. I guess so. Children. No teacher. Those depends. All right, well, we're almost done, so it's the light. Yeah. Have you guys registered? I'm trying to register. And it let me before, it didn't let me register with you, and then it did. So just stay tuned because that class is probably going to switch. It's not a remote class, and I think it's hybrid though, right? So this is the thing, it's like, it says hybrid, but then it says like class location remote, like it doesn't have a campus. Which. That's good. It's not just roll over. But then they made the class at 7 o'clock. Yes. My teacher was that. that Thursday 4:15. So. Okay. Monday or Tuesday, 4:15. Okay. Yeah, I think that like those seem like the days there was not any other. Because I like. Anyway, so just so stay tuned. So when I register for the 7:15 class. So yeah, you can, I think register for that class, but just know that it's might get switched. And so it'll be hybrid, it'll be just like this class, like where we meet in person. So it's like you're not gonna be here all the time, but it'll probably, I mean, I think 14 is sometimes hard, but I do think like the coffee which are like glazed over and it's like talking to a bunch of zombies. And like they don't. Try to do that. You don't want to do that. What is it not actually? I mean, yeah, but a lot of you are in classrooms, so you can't do that, right? So that's why I think the program got switched, right? To like be classes. So I think it said SPED 382. I think that one has 2 options, right? One is online too. I think one is fully online. Both in person or one that has a professional. Yeah, one that has a professional, one that. What is that? So I just picked the Monday one, but I'm gonna change that. That one might change to Monday, because I think that one was like 4:15. Yeah. Now, what's the other? Okay, so yeah, so maybe keep like Monday, Tuesday, 4:15 open for now, because we're gonna try to move it to that time. Okay. On one of those days, but I've told my chair this like 10 times already. Yeah. He wrote it down multiple times. Already written it down. Just wrote it down again. We did put like 30, 46. Right, it's the class next. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, do you all prefer an earlier class than a second class, right? I want to just be like, I selfishly don't really want to teach that time either. I mean, I'll teach about the same talk. I feel like for you all, like, it'd be nice to like teach it. Be nice to read, excited. Right, and not have back-to-back classes. Yes. And I think that's like I've been talking about. Yeah, I get this. Like, we don't want you guys to come here so often. Also, like hard each. Yeah. Some of us have to teach back before we take that. All right, well, yeah, so just stay tuned for that, but I have asked, they had 3 scheduled for 5 classes. They can't do 5 classes, that's the contain. So you're gonna pull one of my. Just taught it. Children's lit. Oh, this is the first time? So I just taught, yeah, it's the first semester I taught children's literature across this semester. I really like it, it's really fun. And I want, I mean, I like to loop guys too, so let's have it's nice to like have all over. All right. One more question. Yeah, sure. So we like some okay, yeah, we could use some. Okay. Yeah, you need them for your sign video. Yeah, I actually have some in my office. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Yeah. For the video and during the science experiment, like are we explaining ourselves in the video or are we explaining when we're presenting?
So you won't present here, so your whole presentation will just be on video. So you should video the experiment itself, right? If you talk about the objectives and all that stuff, that's also great, but you'll have like, just like with the math game, you'll have like slides, right, that like how objectives and all the stuff. You'll have that too, so I'll review them both.
Those.
And so it's up to you how you record. Like if you want to record, like the camera's over there and it's like, I'm here and I'm doing the little thing, right? Or hi, yes, this is speaking to all this. It's just the. Oh.
Yeah, I'm doing with.
Yeah, it's fine. We also have no double book. Sorry, guys. This is one of our students who passed away, young son, and so we collected books. Yeah. So this is our collection of books. And
I want to do this for any of you. Don't do it.
yeah,
Stay healthy.
my God, please.
If you're not doing this again, do you
I
understand?
know.
Last time.
You all know Dr. Fairmont. Yeah, okay.
What?
She's interrupted our class before. Yeah, that's on track. That's on track.
Like little like treats. And then,
Oh, she did bring snacks, so, okay.
and then lots of.
Oh, you showed us the treats and then you left. Real nice, real
I'm sure
nice.
that's not true.
Yeah.
I'm certain that's not true. I will invite you all to the ceremony tonight, so you can tell Dr. Milanato you want to leave at 5:30.
I told them we're leaving early. They already know. They've known since.
Are they coming to the ceremony?
You are all welcome to come.
There will be treats that I will not take away from you.
That will not be taken away, but also you can use that time to work on they have
Yeah.
9-6.
Okay, guys, so
Okay, so
stay awesome. Thank you. Oh, I think this is perfect. Yeah, right, good birthday. Yeah.
thanks, Tori. Thanks. See you over there. Bye. Adios. Okay. All right, so yeah, so you can record like, like you doing the thing, or you can just like record down of like whatever. Just, yeah. So I've had lots. Just be. It's got to be you doing the experiment.
Like if you both want to be in the video.
Both. It'd be nice if you're both like talking, like voiceover or something. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But like I've had students just like submit like a YouTube video of the thing. I'm like, hey, you're doing the thing. You gotta do the thing. You gotta do the experiment. You can't be just put the YouTube on there, right? So it's gotta be you. I have to hear your voice. Your lovely voice. Yeah, sure. We can just have what we can. That's fine. We can save some of this for. We'll do some of this. So.
No. You just wanted to ask you about our. Yeah. So, yeah, we're doing, for some,
Okay.
right, if this would kindergarten. Jesus, right, the,
Yep.
right, so we. They won't- I was just mostly about the standard. But it's only one on. Yeah, I only put, like, I try to do it very minimal, just because I know.
Yeah, well, standard is fine. Right? You need to have like 100 standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to try to link it to other standards,
Yeah.
but right, I mean, in theory, like you will only have like your a small activity is really only gonna focus on one concept, right? You're not gonna focus on a million. You might think of other like curricular connections, right? So yeah, like
Well, like first, like, the one standard is the, experiment. And then like the second standard is like that says, data, data, and like, well, so then we're like, oh, should we put that second one?
Right.
Like, well, we don't really need to, right? Because.
if you think it's like reflected in your, in
Mhm.
your experiment, then you should include it. Doesn't seem like it fits well.
Okay. These videos are gonna be about 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, I mean, they won't.
So like if it's ours like K through second, focus is K through second, so you do like K through second and we just focus on kindergarten.
So you should, are you doing like an engineer?
No, it's like a one. I think it's weather.
So you should, yeah, you should find a standard. This is a good conversation. This is, I gave a lot of standard. Sure. This is legit. This is like. So we want to do activities that are reflecting some topic or theme. But then there's no standard. In whatever. Because that is not a conflict, that's being learned. Great, it's fine, that's okay.
I have the whole world in my hand.
Like rob the school. Is that what you're like? Are you gonna be on the news?
No, but I'm doing a video for my science.
So yeah, so basically, right, like the. You need to be focused on the concepts that students are learning within. Like starting with the standard. So you might want to like we all love the life cycle to death for some. I don't know why. It is literally not even a concept that gets learned in any grade, pre-K through secondary. We teach it, but it is not in any standard, even in the early learning. It's like a fifth grade standard. So if you look at the, yeah, it's like crazy, it's like a leader. So if you look at next generation science, think of all the like things that you to teach about. Just make sure that like it's the thing that's actually supposed to be learned, right? The standards are there because this is what children are learning. We can't just be like, guess you're gonna learn about life cycles now. It ain't here in the standards, but we're learning about it, so we'll figure it out. And you can use the idea of like life cycles to teach like other standards. Even there's but yeah, so just like look at this, just start there, because that is like gonna give you what the book will be teaching. If it's other like thematic things and other topics, find ways to like that topics of the things you're teaching. Yeah, so don't say like for K to 2 because it should in theory, right? I mean, it can. Right, but if we're going off standard, let the right sign back. The president. You'll good night. Because we're gonna talk. Okay. And I got a new tattoo and it's very itchy. Yeah. Okay. Right, here's our plan. So whatever we don't get to, we'll just talk about the next time we're together. So we're gonna meet at the North Park Village Nature Center next week. So it'll be after that. Okay, so I want to just like go through next generation science standard, which I politely right? So you have next generation fine standards, this is a terrible photo, but, right, so you have a performance expectation, so this is essentially your standard, right, the standard that you're doing. And then you have these three areas of focus will help you think about engineering practices, so STEM-minded things that might be related to that. Disciplinary core idea. Steps that you're learning about, right? And then cross-cutting concepts, which are ideas and concepts that go across all the standards, right? So that you can kind of link that. So here are those three dimensions. So what I like about how this is each of these, right, you have your disciplinary core ideas. So these are the core science disciplines. So what students, the cross-cutting concepts, this ideas that go across these domains, right? So what students are thinking, so those big broad patterns, cause and effect, right? There's like a million. And we would then for the science engineering. But this is what they're going to be doing. Right? So they're going to observe questions there. So I feel like it's a little bit like more helpful to think about it this way. Yeah. And so here are the disciplinary core ideas. We have life science, physical science, and space science, engineering and technology are also. And so here are the kind of content here. And so within these are lots of things that you all want to talk about, like plants and animals and what they need to survive and weather changes and observing weather changes over time. So right, those like kind of concepts and those ideas are all embedded in here. So the science and engineering practices, all of these things. Way, especially how things are. The cross-cutting concept, so this is how students are connecting content across these areas. And so you'll see similar kinds of ideas, right, talked about across each of the disciplines. So here's not to say that all of these are reflected necessarily in the K-2 standards, because we're focused on like the standards and we're focused. Here's some more. And these are again signs. So these are just other visuals for these. And so here's more cross-cutting concepts. Does this make sense? How these like all work together? Right, so here's a standard. And so this is a kindergarten standard, right? And about physical science. And so here are standards. Here. What I like about NGSS is it gives you these like clarifying statements too, which I think are just helpful in contextualizing like what does it mean, right?
But when using it for like papers and things, do you want the better or no?
No, you can just put like the number and then the yeah, that's mostly like for you. I think it's really just like help you, it's for us educators to be thinking about what does it mean, look like. And so then here are those three areas, right? Engineering practices and what those will look like related to these standards. So you'll see the standard that's here reflected here too, right? So they're aligned. So somebody like really planned and thought this through, right? How these are all interrelated and going to like read them sometimes, right? They're really, once you really look at them and start to like really know them, it's really helpful to your teaching. Right? It's really helpful in planning lessons and be standard aligned, help students with both science concepts, but also science. Like those are those transferable. And so here's your kind of disclaimer for ideas. So all of the things that you're focused on, again, those are all aligned with the standards above. And then your cross cutting. Right, so cause and effect. All right, so is that clear? Like reading next generation science. And then there was this video and like week 2. I put it here as well. Week 2 seems so long ago. So it's here again, but this is just again talking through how to read the next time. You know, they're just not as clear. I think it's like the Common Core standards, like those are just like great. Extra. So you can watch this. And then the next generation scientists are all here. All. All good? GSS, quick overview.
That's where we should have been looking at doing our,
Yes.
I thought science was okay.
Yeah, so again, so this is the other thing, right? If you're doing K2, you should always be using Common Core, next generation science standard, right? If you're doing something for preschool, you can use the Illinois early standards. But still look at those standards, right? Because those standards are still Illinois state standards for pre-K, and there's particular, there's specific content that students are learning, right? So you want to make sure that. Right, and I think like where we get kind of mixed up a little too is because many of us have worked in childcare settings before, right? And like, we just kind of like teach them all kinds of stuff, right? When they're like in our toddler classrooms or like in our like early pre-K, not in a pre-K CPS classroom, right? Like, and that's great. Right? We want them to learn all kinds of things. But then when we start to think about that knowledge and how we taught then and translate it to like school classrooms, it doesn't really like, and I get that because that's like I worked in childcare for a long time. Like I worked in a pre-K in a center and like we just like taught them all kinds of cool stuff, right? It's like it's just fun. We weren't like looking at standards all the time, right? But now standards are just a part of what we're going to do. Right? All right, so what does science learning look like in early? What do we think? Hands-on. Yeah, so like someone wrote that. That's okay. I was gonna write stuff on board. Caps. What? Anyway, carry on. Okay, hands on. We're moving on. Oh, yeah. Look. Okay. Inquiry, hands on. Inquiry. Okay, yeah. So, like real world connection. Yeah.
Oh, mine.
It's okay, stand on the line, but what does that mean? What are they learning about? What are we learning about we're learning in some way, use inquiry to science. We're connecting that learning to like our lived experience. So observation. Okay. So this is I would say it's kind of this, right? What about the content? Life science? And what does life science mean? What does that look like? Living things?
The way the world works or the way the world.
So the way the world works?
Physical science.
Okay, so physical science? Science? What does that mean?
Learning about the content.
Pretty about the planets.
Weather.
Planets. Yeah, we have that here, I think. So go to the standards, the next generation science. And think about how some of these are some of these ideas reflected in the K-2 standard? Or other assignment, space patterns. Okay, so read me a standard that aligns with some of the things we said.
This includes humans too, like plants, animals, and humans.
So that's a life science standard. There, yeah. The universe and its stars, patterns of the motion of the sun, moon, and stars in the sky can be observed with brightness. So that's our space science one. Do we think planets is they just say sun, moon, star? Yes. Yes, stars. What else? Mhm.
How about like communicate solutions, so we'll reduce certain types of feelings and the learning or the air and other living things in the environment. That has to do with our planet, right? Like saving our planet.
Yeah, so it's definitely like, you're definitely gonna be more focused on kind of like Earth systems,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
And you're gonna be thinking about, right, and then it's linking this like inquiries of the engineer design stuff, right? And kind of like figuring out and solving problems using like engineer design, right, ideas. So we did our like STEM challenge for like 2 weeks ago now. 2 weeks ago. Right, so that was like asking you to like solve a problem. You have this challenge card and create something new for whatever reason. To make something that like keeps something hot or cold. Do a cell phone or make my shoes do something cool or something. So, right, so that is using like inquiry, using science, engineering, design processes, so these are kind of, right, these like process skills. So how do we think like scientists? And then how using these skills do we learn about these concepts? Okay. So let's do a little. So I'm gonna give you, how do we usually break up like 3 groups? So I'm gonna give you all. Yeah, I guess you. So, all right, so I'm gonna give you some play-based science activity ideas, right? They're very basic, like, how do you take that? But I want you to think about which standards are aligned with the grade levels on here. So this is all life science. And then this is all, these are all physical science. So there's like, you don't have to do them all. You can just like pick one. Then you guys want to. 5 and 5. I think how about yeah, how many yeah, let's just 5 and 5. Save some day for minute time. Right, so on your sheet, you have. Good job doing that. So on your sheet, you have several things to choose from. So there's, you'll see it will say like a topic, a name or something. So what I want you to do is like think about what standard, what align. Again, just choose one. And then think about each of the 3 areas, right? So the science, engineering practices, disciplinary core ideas, and cross-cutting concepts. Right, so think about those, which should be relatively easy, right? Because once we find a standard, they're all there. And then think about, right, what does this activity actually look like? And then you can think about these questions too if you want, but yeah, so go ahead. This is really meant, right, for us to explore the NGSS a little bit more, think about applying it to activities and how we might create an activity that would support that standard. Cool? All good? Right. Okay. Up here too. So design your classroom activity. Oh, sorry. Sometimes I have things prepared. I don't even remember that I did. Or I carry markers in my bag.
Wait, so can we, this is also the same as backward design. We should choose the standard.
Yeah, so you can see, yeah, so you don't, yeah, you can just, they have to say, you need to write an objective necessarily.
Okay.
So you love writing objectives now, it's so fun.
Test objects to see if they say.
I just want you to explore the standards. There's some snacks here you can get.
Yeah. What are we doing? What's that for?
If you do it, you can help your little experiment.
Yeah. Sink and float. I'm looking for sink and float. Do you guys want to try the steps to design that?
Or which one? The ramp? Or magnet or ramp?
What size? Sink or float? Oh,
Yeah, I know which one we're.
okay.
This one? Yeah, it's like, it's the one. That's the first one. It's subdivision.
You want us to write it on this or?
Yeah, you can put it down there.
We're just doing one, right? So we're gonna read on this. Yeah.
It's not a list.
They don't know. Disabled food. Okay, so we don't. Okay, well, what's the thing? Okay.
What's this?
I asked them, and survey, yes. Yeah, but this should grade 5 and 4. This is. This is our expense.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Alright, last one.
So we're doing sync and flow. We haven't found this yet because we don't know if we're gonna do like first grade or just.
But it should take it out. So that's what she said. If the standard's not there, we can first. But which, so we're great.
Yeah, we were just thinking.
So these people should be here, that, and, and we must. Next generation. So if it's not the kindergarten, first, like, if it's one of those things, then that's the way you should do. So just order, look up that next generation of science. And if this like one of my that should be. Where did it come from? I don't know. But it is wondering, and you. Next generation of science. No, maybe it's property of the method. Next generation. Yeah, I'll follow up.
Okay.
I swear that you follow up.
It's also in the slide.
Right.
This week.
Just don't know.
Oh, okay.
Which one?
Then this little slide.
So where, so that's gonna
That
be,
one, it's like
This week.
oh, this week?
And
Week.
uh-huh.
And then. It says,
yeah,
like,
so I would say that one is
Stop
something
the book or whatever. And then,
yeah.
and it's in there.
Great. Yeah.
And there it is. Then somebody-
I mean, just go through it.
I'm good.
Just holistically.
I don't know.
I mean, it's like if we look at
Mhm.
these.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, so I think. It's just. Maybe. So here's like the. Right. Whatever it is it's saying. So I think it's fine. I think it's not, I think like this idea of them becoming is like a lifetime in which the standard is. Like creating some. Almost science the same. And so I think, yeah. Yeah. Right, so think about what that, what the activity would look like. And think about. Just email, just email. Yeah, oh. This would be right. Yeah. Mhm. It's fine. It's- Right. Yeah. Yeah, look at the example. Always look at the example. 4 hours. How's it going back here? Because we just love the standards so much. Our baptism birthday celebration. Yeah. Yeah. Challenging. I'm grateful. Spoiled. That's your baby girl. I know. That's your baby. Is it yours or that? It's always. So I thought. No, I'm kind of like tough then. But. My son is. We're taking. Like, yeah, that's why. I mean, we were gonna be. We're going, IBS, we got all that stuff. But you know, it's like a big site. So they just opened the one that had it, universe, so. I'm gonna go to
send videos.
Yeah, yeah. I'll do it. It looks so amazing, like, we were just looking at.
No, but I'm supposed
Yeah.
to letter from.
And most of them are like. Those,
But I have it.
or something, you know. We're definitely gonna go there, you would love it. He's not a big, like, I've tried to get him to read Harry Potter and, like, first book.
I read
like,
the
top
whole
of
you
her,
look at
and
your
that one's, like,
basement,
really
and
beautifully,
the one
like, illustrated, started reading it together. So I think he's.
Why continue with that? So
Maybe this,
Yeah.
we have the whole series, like my aunt was the whole book series.
My son was interested, but he was more.
Oh God, my family is like huge video, my husband and my son. Yes, yeah, so my mom is like, well, my mom's retired now, so she's. Like, she's like, see me. Okay, now these start from.
Mine's
and I was like,
coming.
yeah, my mom and my aunt are. Yeah. So.
I would be.
Yeah. I know, I'm like, okay. You're the.
I did, so I have.
And you're retired now, so. They have no.
Lots of pictures, lots of videos.
I mean, it can be overwhelming, I know, but definitely.
So we went to. And I was like, oh my God, this is like. Insane, just like Universal takes so much more thought, like. dense. Like when I look at the map, it's like everything is like we're staying on. Hotel and that's as well. It's like I just stayed at one. Just seeing everything's so far away and. It's in Universal and it's like. Yeah, so I'm happy, you never will be.
90% of it, so that's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we got fast pass. No, God, Disney is like insane. It's like overwhelming.
Passes that are fast passes, and then you do it on your phone.
Yeah, you have to like pay extra for some, like when we did it, you had to pay like extra to do like some of the rides to get into like. Let's go ahead and. You know, it's all about the magic.
They run like into the car and say, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I got to
I know.
Then you guys just think.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see all the Harry Potter worlds, I'm hoping that that will like. Now, so.
The model.
Cause I held on. I want to be.
I read it as an adult.
Yeah, yeah,
I do too much. I only read the first one because I'm forced into running.
yeah.
Like,
And then I think the relevant on the learning.
years is like. Yeah. And then so I was like, just wait till. So then I could read the last one, because. I just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm hoping that they'll. Yeah.
Have them all. But then if you don't, then that's fine, you know.
Yeah, I'm just excited to like go somewhere it's warm.
Yeah.
You know,
That's more about the.
yeah.
That one.
Like,
Is
like- no, it's not, we're leaving, it's Veterans Day, we're leaving on Thursday. Yeah, so
Let's see.
it's on the 30th. Yeah, we're born on Friday the 13th, like my Friday the 13th, baby. Yeah, yeah. Now that we're like starting to plan, and now he doesn't know yet, so on Friday. No. Yeah. Sure. I'm a birthday. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, maybe I should be birthday. I just love For the deep, the disciplinary natural resources. You know, your mom worked so hard. Yes. You know, you as mother worked really hard to get that. And your mom works hard to get you here. All right, how's it going?
What is the what?
Where did you get this one? Oh, yeah, did you send it back?
No.
What science idea are they exploring? All right, how's it going? Did we get it? Did we figure it out?
No, not engineer. I said,
And then the. Yes, I would point it to. Yeah. This one you're pointing to. Yeah, because it said design text conveyed through sketch design.
The first one.
Oh, yes. No, that's the video. Yeah. That's my science. So concept and the concept. Okay. And then I put this on. All right, how's it going? It's the, NGFF practice. We're pros? Yeah. But if you're done, you can just grab it. I don't know. Oh, wow. I gotta start because there's materials. Yeah, yeah. Can we come back? Yeah. There. All right, do that. So, with life science, our activity was related to animal habitat and block. The standard that we decided to focus on was the K-DSS3. To use a model that represents the relationship between the needs of different plants and animals, including humans, and the places where they live. Basically, our activity we would educate students on the animals that exist in sub-Saharan Africa, and we put out pictures of the different types of animals and things. They would build a habitat for them, like yeah, and then using the natural materials that were the picture. And
talk about. Science idea.
Sciences, and then. Yeah, sorry.
Teachers have great legible handwriting usually. That's not. Okay.
I said, I'm reading one letter at a time.
Yeah, so.
We did the standard, so what the children are doing, scientists or engineers, their children are working as engineers, building habitats for animals in the sub-Saharan Africa. They're exploring earth and life sciences, so natural resources and physical models, developing possible solutions, actually physical models. And then the concept that tied all together, system and system models.
Right, so this was listed as a life science activity, right? Thinking about kind of animal need, right? And, but it's really about constructing, thinking about their needs and then constructing habitats that are. Is related to design. Great. You did, yeah.
We have the shadow play. Using
Okay.
flashlights or sunlight to observe and compare shadows. So we're actually doing a similar science activity for the first grade, and the standards there are the ESS 1A and ESS 1B. So the universe and its stars and the Earth and the solar system. So basically it's taking the globe and shining the flashlight and showing how it changes from day to night and things like that. So it's making observations. Oh God, yeah, investigating.
Everyone had trouble
Comparing.
today.
I guess the idea we're exploring is the space systems, patterns and cycles.
Okay.
The concept patterns.
Okay.
This activity could be for basically any group, because I think we could, it depends how you talk about it, how many new vocabulary are you gonna put in? Are you gonna say there's an imaginary line, or are you gonna use the word axis, or,
Right.
you know, like depending, so it could go anywhere from first grade to first grade to like even eighth grade, right? Because they do
Yeah.
things like that. They just develop more and more. They
Right, so
kept
you'll notice too over time, like how these ideas really build on each other, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at. But, right, so just like the learning trajectories with math, right? Thinking about how skills are. So, like you'll see a lot of similar ideas coming up. Ecosystem, structure, function. So, I mean, properties of to the physical science piece. So yeah, I mean, these will build on each other and. So like here, so the light and sound, right? So that's like, I'm wondering. So light and sound is probably, right, another area you could look at for that, right? So you guys both have different, technically different science content areas,
with the same standards.
but you found standards that were in. Right. And so I think this is like a good example of how some of these activities that we're thinking about, right, which is why we plan with. Right, we would never plan an activity. Think about the standard, think about our objectives, think about assessment, what learning. Then we decide it. So this is a good example of how backward design is a little bit more helpful, I think. Because when you just have some, I think it's supposed to be like life science. It's not, because of the standard. Force you to focus some that. But yeah. Any other questions about next generation science standards?
So I have a quick question. I mean, well, this is in regards to like, the experiment that, Peter and I are doing. Because on here it says build ramps and test how height affects speed. So instead of us doing height, we're doing like push, like how strong or how, you know, like, how strong the push is. Right? Like,
Right.
so then I guess I was looking at YouTube videos too,
Yeah.
which, and and it kind of like went up to like fourth grade or, you know, like the levels were high and like the different
Right.
stuff you could do for push pull,
Mhm.
you know, like interaction. Right?
So, yeah, you're looking at kindergarten.
Yeah, we did kindergarten, forced interactions with like, yeah. And so we did like faster or slower in the speed in the straight direction. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like it says kindergarten, but there was like other stuff in YouTube that allowed for older kids.
Right. So there's good, yeah, I mean, there's going to be standards that are, I think, you know, the standards have.
Yeah,
But I'm sure there's standards, right, that are related to these same ideas,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I mean, I think these. We'll think about.
Yeah.
Bring direction down.
yes, yeah.
Maybe down. Time. That makes sense.
Yeah. So that's it. Okay, well, that's good.
Any other questions about?
At the time I graduate, they're gonna change the standard.
Yeah.
Like that, is better. And they're always being updated every once in a while, but.
Outside.
All right, so. We'll take some of this for next week, or next time we're together. This is a reminder, we talked about these things, right? So inquiry, so thinking about both science, engineering practice. Science, right, we're always thinking about inquiry. We're thinking about leveling of inquiry too, so that like, there's certainly things that are like going to be done in here. Level, right? And they're kind of moving up, right? But just, you know, be thinking about that, depending on the grade. I mean, most kids are. But inferring and predicting, like some of those things are that harder for you. Yeah. They're pretty big. And so we talk about scientific method, and so we do things like think flow, right? And you can buy these little kits, these little think flow kits, or you can just have your own. And so we do these kinds of activities. When we're using scientific methods, think flow is actually not even a standard that you would. But something we do in our childcare classrooms all the time. Project approach, we're gonna do a whole bunch of project approach stuff in a couple of weeks. And we did talk about this briefly. So project approach is just a way to use kind of thematic ideas and children's questions to build lessons and activities. Then you kind of go backtrack and use to build. We did this, right, when we did our STEM challenge where you had to use those like 8 random things that were in a paper bag to, I think you missed this, Evelina, but, yeah. Yeah, you missed all the fun.
One time I don't show up.
So yeah. So all right, so your science experiment, so you'll have some time now to do science experiments because we're gonna wrap up so I can get to this ceremony. And those are due Fridays if you want to work on them now or anything else. Next week we're gonna meet at the North Park Village Nature Center. So has everyone been there? Does everyone know where it's at? Okay, so it's very close to campus. It's just on, so it's on Pulaski and North Street, so it's right before you get to Peterson. It is not by the Starbucks. It is, no, it's way before. So it's just like you could walk.
It's basically the next one over when you turn right to school,
Right.
then you keep going and then that's right.
Yeah, so if you're coming down, if you're driving north on Pulaski instead of turning right on Bryn Mawr, you go straight. And it's like the next light, you turn right. There's a map posted on D2L. I will post my cell phone number on the announcement so that in case you get lost, because every year students someone's lost. So try to get a buddy and just look at the map. It's not hard to get to. It's just like in the area that it's in, there's like apartments and there's like CPS off or Chicago Park District offices. There's like a gymnastics like gym. It's like a whole complex of things. It's very close to here. So we're gonna go there and we're gonna meet with my friend Julie, who has she's a program specialist there. She's worked for the Park District for a really long time. She has developed many early childhood programs. She teaches an outdoor preschool program there at the Nature Center. We're gonna talk about that program, how she teaches early childhood in and with nature and science and activities. So it'll be fun. So hopefully the weather's nice. So watch the weather so that we can kind of walk around and be it's so beautiful and the trees are all beautiful. So yeah, so it'll be fun. And mini lessons are due. So yeah, just look at the syllabus and I'll put, I'll put my notes. And then when we come back, so you'll have another asynchronous and then we'll come back and we'll continue to talk about science, social studies. So we'll kind of start to pull those two areas together and we'll use project some other fun stuff. Keep thinking about those. Cool. All right, well, I'm gonna leave you all to it. I'm gonna go to the freeze ceremony. And yeah, no, I hope I don't cry. Apparently there's a lot of people coming, so like from their family. School families. And so, oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.